Chapter 21, Forged in Silence. It's strange how your body keeps score, even when your mind pretends to move on. Every ache, every dreamless sleep, every flinch when the wind shifts wrong, it's all just your soul whispering, I ain't whole yet. Recovery ain't like in the movies. There's no training montage, no inspirational music, just time. Slow, bitter, silent time. Aunt Rose kept me on a strict regimen. Teas brewed so bitter they made my molars cry. Poultices that smelled like dead ancestors. And roots soaked in moon water. She said my spirit was stretched thin like $1 at the rent office. The worst part, though, Uncle T. The man barely looked at me. Every time I'd limp into the kitchen or shuffle onto the porch, he found somewhere else to be. Fixing fences, cleaning tools, fiddling in the forge like the damn apocalypse was tomorrow. At first I chalked it up to him just being him. But it wore on me. The silence, the avoidance. Like I'd become some mirror he didn't want to look into. Aunt Rose caught me sulking one morning while I nursed a cup of burdock root tea and stared out at the dew-damp yard.
He ain't mad at you, baby,
she said, not looking up from her basket of dried herbs. Sure as hell ain't talking to me either, I muttered. She gave me a side eye sharp enough to shave bark.
Men like your uncle, they don't know what to do with guilt. He's carrying it like a second spine. You want answers? You gonna have to go to him.
I nodded, finished my tea, and later that afternoon, I found myself hobbling toward the forge. The air was heavy with smoke and iron, the hiss of quenching steel, and the dull rhythm of a hammer ringing out like a sermon. Uncle T was at the anvil, sweat gleaming down his arms, muscles working like they were trying to forget. I stood in the doorway for a minute too long. He didn't look up.
You gonna hover or help?
He asked, voice low. I ain't much good at lifting right now, I said. He grunted.
Didn't say lift, said help. Sit your tail down.
I did. On a rickety stool in the corner, watching sparks fly as he shaped something I couldn't name. Silence stretched. It felt like trying to breathe through wet cotton. You mad at me? I asked finally. He didn't stop hammering.
No.
Then why you been acting like I died? He stopped, laid the hammer down slow. Then, like dragging stones out of deep mud, he said,
Because I damn near lost you and I already buried one son.
The silence after that hit like a freight train. I didn't know you had a son, I said. He nodded, picked up a cloth, and wiped his brow.
My boy, James, born 2 weeks before I shipped out to Nam. Never really got to know him. By the time I came back, well, war changes a man, changes how you hold your kid, how you hear I love you and don't know how to say it back.
He sat across from me, elbows on knees.
My daddy was the same, Harlem hellfighter, the kind of man who never blinked, never flinched, but would sit bolt upright in his bed screaming some name none of us recognized. Strong men, but they was always haunted.
He paused, looked me in the eye.
I thought if I made it through Nam, I'd finally earn his respect, prove I was cut from the same steel.
What happened?
I found out we ain't made of steel. Not really. We're bone and hurt and ghosts that don't always get exercised. The jungle wasn't just trees. It was thick with spirits. Root workers fighting for their villages. Viet Cong had shamans calling on things we didn't have names for. I saw men torn apart by shadows that bled, and I survived, but something stayed in me, something wild. That's when I started listening to our old ways again.
He stood up, walked over to a shelf, pulled down an old leather pouch and tossed it to me. Inside were medals, a photo of a young Uncle T, and a blackened, cracked set of prayer beads.
I made mistakes with my son, kept too many walls up, but with you, I thought if I just kept you strong, gave you the tools, you'd figure it out better than I did.
I needed words, not just tools, I said quietly.
I know that now.
We sat in that moment, just men, not legends, not warriors, just broken mirrors, trying to reflect something true.
I love you, boy.
Uncle T said.
And I'm sorry. I should have warned you better about Samedi, about the toll.
I didn't trust my voice, so I just nodded. He looked down at the blade he'd been working on.
I've been forging something new for you. Iron sealed with ash from the old rites. Fire tempered in grief. You're gonna need it.
I looked at him. You think I can kill that thing?
I think if anyone can, it's you. But not with steel alone. You'll need more than weapons. You'll need to remember why you fight, who you fight for.
We left the forge together. Later that night, Aunt Rose caught me in the hallway, holding a thick envelope.
Your next step,
She said,
maps, rites, names of folk who know more than us. There's a pattern in the sacrifices, places that resonate. This thing, it's building toward something.
I took the envelope. How long do I have?
Not long, it's stirring, but it ain't risen yet.
I looked back toward the forge. Only fire born of righteous grief and sealed in iron can stop it. I was almost ready. Almost.